for me to even, for me to even allow myself to get tricked into being in a space to where I feel like, I'm at the mercy of some who don't understand me as an artist anyway, because this was in.
If you just getting this message, way too late. For real, I'm gonna drop so much on y'all. You're gonna love it.
Over the past year, a growing number of allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have surfaced from former associates, artists, and employees. None of these claims have been proven in court, and Combs has denied wrongdoing in connection with several of them. What follows is a look at what specific people have said, in their own words, and what remains unconfirmed. One of the more discussed accounts comes from an artist referred to in recent interviews as DaBaby, who has described attending a late-night gathering where he says he unexpectedly encountered other major figures in the music industry. According to his account, the meeting didn't feel like a casual introduction. He says it felt orchestrated. He has suggested, without providing corroborating evidence, that the encounter was part of an effort to draw him into a more exclusive circle connected to Combs. It's worth noting that neither of the other individuals he says he met has commented on this claim, and there is no independent confirmation that the meeting happened as described. A separate clip that has resurfaced online shows Combs handing cash to a young child and asking him to make an exaggerated facial expression. The clip has drawn criticism online, with viewers describing the child's reaction as visibly uncomfortable. Combs has not issued a specific statement addressing this clip. In his own interviews, DaBaby has said that whatever the public sees reported as controversy barely scratches the surface of what he says he's actually experienced. He hasn't detailed specific incidents in these clips, but he's implied that his real experiences with Combs were far more serious than anything that's made headlines. He has also claimed that his career took a different trajectory after he declined to participate in what he describes as an inner circle built around loyalty and pressure, though he stopped short of detailing exactly what that participation would have involved, and there's no way to independently verify a causal link between that refusal and his career outcomes. Separately, former artist Freddy P has made his own set of claims. He has alleged that Combs carried firearms and used intimidation to control the atmosphere at certain gatherings. In one clip, Freddy P describes Combs threatening someone in front of other people and claims he has personally witnessed this kind of behavior more than once. He's also suggested that people in Combs' orbit avoid speaking publicly about him, not necessarily because they support him, but out of fear of professional or physical retaliation. These are Freddy P's characterizations of events. They have not been independently verified, and Combs has not responded specifically to these claims. Freddy P has gone further, alleging that some young men in Combs' circle were manipulated or exploited at private gatherings. He has claimed that DaBaby, in particular, was shaken by what he witnessed and reluctant to speak about it publicly. Again, these are unproven allegations from a single source, and no court finding currently supports them. Gene Deal, who has publicly identified himself as a former bodyguard for Combs, has made related claims, alleging that young artists were invited to hotel rooms under circumstances he found suspicious and describing preparations that included items he found unusual. Combs has denied allegations along these lines in other contexts, and Deal's specific claims here remain unproven in court. Some of the most serious claims relate to Justin Bieber. Video from years ago, showing Bieber, then 15 years old, spending time with Combs, who was in his 40s at the time, has resurfaced and drawn renewed scrutiny. In the resurfaced clip, Combs jokes about having legal guardianship of Bieber for 48 hours and references having previously had a guardianship arrangement involving another young artist he'd worked with. Critics online have pointed to the age gap and the language used as troubling in hindsight. It's important to be precise here. Bieber has spoken publicly in the past about being taken advantage of early in his career, but he has not named Combs specifically in connection with those comments, and there is no public evidence confirming that anything inappropriate occurred between them. Freddy P has claimed, without evidence, that this period marked a turning point involving manipulation, but this is his characterization, not a confirmed account from Bieber himself. Freddy P has also made an allegation regarding Combs' relationship with his stepson, suggesting an inappropriate dynamic. This is among the most serious claims circulating, and it's also among the least substantiated. There is no public evidence supporting it, and it has not been addressed in any legal proceeding to date. Amid all of this, commentary from other industry figures has focused less on any single incident and more on DaBaby's broader position, noting that his career, including high profile. For me to even allow myself to end up in a position where I felt at the mercy of people who never truly understood me as an artist, that just wasn't something I could accept. If you're only now hearing what I have to say, you're already too late. I'm about to put everything out there. What did DaBaby really witness at Diddy's infamous parties? In a striking claim, he suggests those gatherings were far darker than the public ever imagined, alleging that he unexpectedly encountered Jay-Z and Beyonce during a late-night after-party. According to DaBaby, it didn't feel like a casual introduction. It felt as though he had been singled out for something much bigger. If his account is accurate, it could dramatically reshape how people view some of Hollywood's most influential circles. Even DaBaby's young son wasn't spared from an uncomfortable interaction with Diddy. In a resurfaced clip, Diddy hands the child $1,000 while encouraging him to make the face you really want to make. The boy's visibly uneasy reaction has fueled widespread online speculation, with many questioning Diddy's intentions and what was really happening in that moment. DaBaby has repeatedly suggested that long before he ever stepped into the spotlight, he'd already experienced difficult situations that prepared him for the realities of the industry. Because of that, he says he never approached fame looking for friendships or validation. According to him, the controversies the public sees are only a small fraction of what has really happened behind the scenes. He believes the true battles have always taken place away from the cameras, which is why media headlines and viral moments seem insignificant compared to what he claims he's actually dealt with. To outsiders, that attitude may come across as arrogance, but he insists people simply don't know the full story. So why would Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly go out of their way to meet DaBaby? He claims it wasn't a coincidence at all. According to his account, it was part of Diddy's effort to draw him into an exclusive inner circle that remained after the main party ended. DaBaby alleges those gatherings revolved around power, loyalty, and pressure, but says he refused to participate. He believes that decision came with lasting consequences and insists his career was never the same afterward. In another interview, DaBaby recalled spending time alone with Diddy in a vehicle, describing a conversation that immediately focused on firearms. He says Diddy asked him what kind of guns he preferred, then spoke about carrying a revolver himself while members of his security team discussed their own preferences. DaBaby has pointed to that interaction as an example of the unusual one-on-one conversations he experienced. According to unverified insider claims, Diddy personally selected DaBaby to attend an exclusive after-party, something some commentators have interpreted as an attempt to bring him into his inner circle. DaBaby has suggested he refused what he encountered there, and some observers have speculated that this decision negatively affected his career. Separately, former artist Freddy P has alleged that Diddy carried firearms at certain events and used intimidation to maintain control over attendees. Those allegations have not been proven. Freddy P has also claimed Diddy threatened his life in front of others, describing what he believes was a pattern of using fear to dominate people around him. He argues that Diddy's influence came less from physical strength and more from the power he held over others, claiming many people stayed silent because they feared retaliation or believed speaking out would damage their careers or even put them in danger. According to Freddy P, stories about Diddy's behavior circulated privately for years, but many people avoided discussing them publicly because they still operated within the same industry circles. He believes fear kept people quiet, and claims he already knew about some allegations long before they became public, while suggesting additional claims could still emerge in the future. DaBaby's account isn't the only one drawing renewed attention. Freddy P has publicly alleged that people who resisted Diddy at private gatherings often faced serious consequences. Some online commentators have pointed to similarities between Freddy P's claims and the trajectory of DaBaby's career, although no evidence has established a connection. Freddy P has further alleged he witnessed Diddy threatening someone during one of these events, and while some have speculated that person may have been DaBaby, that claim remains unverified. Freddy P has also expressed sympathy for someone he believes was deeply affected by what happened in the industry, suggesting that leverage and manipulation permanently altered that person's career and life. He encouraged anyone who experienced similar situations to speak openly without fear of public judgment, emphasizing that many people have found themselves powerless against those with influence. As more allegations surrounding Diddy's private parties continue to circulate, the accusations have grown increasingly serious. Freddy P has claimed that some young men were manipulated and exploited at these events, though those allegations remain unproven. He has also suggested that DaBaby was deeply shaken by what he allegedly witnessed and reluctant to discuss it publicly. Freddy P further alleged that one individual was left emotionally devastated after an incident at a party, saying he wished he could have done more to help. Former bodyguard Gene Deal has shared another story involving Diddy, recalling a visit to an adult store where Diddy filled a brown paper bag with various items. Deal says he joked with Diddy after noticing products labeled as plugs, but Diddy brushed him off and continued shopping. According to Deal, Diddy simply handed over a large amount of cash without displaying the items before leaving the store. Deal went on to describe traveling afterward on a private jet with Diddy, another rapper, and two women before arriving at a hotel. He claims that while everyone gathered inside a suite, someone later arrived asking for his belongings, an incident Deal says stood out to him. The allegations don't stop there. Gene Deal has publicly claimed that young rappers were frequently invited to Diddy's hotel rooms under suspicious circumstances. He alleges he witnessed preparations involving baby oil and other items before those meetings, suggesting the gatherings had little to do with music and far more to do with influence and control. Diddy has denied wrongdoing, and these allegations remain unproven in court. Freddy P has also alleged there was a culture within Diddy's inner circle where aspiring artists were pressured to conform to the expectations of powerful industry figures. During those discussions, he mentioned names including Meek Mill and Farnsworth Bentley, but offered no evidence supporting those claims, and no such allegations have been proven against them. Freddy P has argued that DaBaby's behavior changed dramatically over time, suggesting fear played a role. He believes many people who attended these parties remained silent because they worried about powerful individuals who could allegedly intimidate or retaliate against them. Freddy P has maintained for years that he was never afraid to criticize Diddy publicly, insisting others stayed quiet because they feared the consequences. Justin Bieber's past association with Diddy has also resurfaced amid renewed public scrutiny. Freddy P has claimed Bieber's widely discussed 48 hours with Diddy represented a turning point in the singer's life, alleging he was manipulated during that time. However, those claims remain unverified, and there is no public evidence confirming Bieber was a victim or that the alleged events occurred as described. Old footage showing Diddy spending time with a 15-year-old Justin Bieber has reignited online debate. In the clip, Diddy jokes about giving Bieber a luxury car at 16 and a mansion at 18 before describing their time together as 48 hours with Diddy. He says they couldn't reveal exactly what they would be doing, calling it every 15-year-old's dream. Diddy also references previously having legal guardianship over Usher during the beginning of his career, while clarifying he did not have legal guardianship of Bieber. Those videos have drawn renewed criticism in light of the allegations now surrounding Diddy. Some commentators argue the footage appears more troubling today than it did when it was first released, though none of those interpretations have been proven. Some online personalities have also pointed to Bieber's song, Lonely, speculating that its lyrics reflect difficult experiences from his youth. They further claim victims may remain silent because influential people allegedly possess compromising information that could be used against them. These theories remain speculative and have not been substantiated. The discussion surrounding Bieber has continued as Freddy P alleges the 48-hour period was part of a broader pattern of manipulation. However, these claims remain unverified, and there is no public evidence confirming Bieber was groomed or that the events unfolded as alleged. Freddy P has also questioned Diddy's close relationship with Usher during his youth, suggesting the level of involvement raised concerns for him. He speculated about why Diddy appeared so invested in someone else's child, and implied there could have been undisclosed reasons for maintaining such a close relationship. Those statements reflect Freddy P's personal allegations and remain unsupported by publicly available evidence. Among Freddy P's most serious accusations is his suggestion that Diddy had an inappropriate relationship with his stepson. If true, it would represent an even more disturbing allegation involving abuse of power and influence. However, this claim remains entirely unverified and has not been substantiated by public evidence. As the conversation shifted to DaBaby's career, commentators noted how dramatically his public standing changed after a series of controversies. They argued that, despite his talent and commercial success, major opportunities disappeared almost overnight. Festival appearances were canceled, collaborations became more difficult, and many believe the industry's response went far beyond ordinary criticism. Some argued that DaBaby had reached a level few rappers achieve, landing major collaborations and high-profile festival bookings. They believed those opportunities reflected his popularity and that losing them represented a significant professional setback. Even so, others maintained that his talent could eventually allow him to recover. Freddy P has continued to allege that he witnessed Diddy threatening someone during one of his private gatherings, describing it as an attempt to intimidate everyone present. Some online commentators have speculated that the individual may have been DaBaby, although no evidence supports that claim. DaBaby himself has suggested he feared speaking publicly because of possible consequences for both his safety and career, later claiming his professional decline began after he refused to comply with what he describes as industry pressure. Those allegations remain unverified. Cowboy has also weighed in, suggesting DaBaby became trapped between exposing what he allegedly witnessed and surviving within an industry that punishes dissent. Separately, Gene Deal has alleged that explicit recordings involving prominent figures exist and have been used as leverage to keep people silent. Those claims have not been publicly substantiated and remain allegations.